What's going on, world? DS1 Ross, and I'm back. Shout out to everybody. Hope everybody had a good day. We here, family. Here with another show tonight, another topic. Tonight, I'm gonna open up the chat. You know, so people could come through, and we just gonna have a conversation tonight, family. Whoever come through, just build on the topic, and we gonna we gonna get this conversation going. It's 2017. You know, everybody trying to be productive. Everybody's trying to, experience new things as black folks. You know, we trying to level up. We trying to be better. So tonight we gonna have that conversation. You know, God damn, I got dislikes already. You see what I'm talking about? Negativity is played out, man. You know, what you mad at me for? Don't be mad at me. So tonight, like I said, we're gonna open up this chat. We'll wait for a little more of the family to come through, you know, and y'all render y'all voice, you know. Negativity is played out, man. It's played out. Especially if you saying if you saying you about something. Cut the negativity out, man. You know? Because a lot of us came from negativity. A lot of us came from negativity. So we trying to stay as far away from it as we can. But as everybody can see, trouble follows some people. It's not that a person is troublesome. Sometimes trouble just follows some people. And sometimes people just like to be on some bullshit. So let's talk about that tonight. Everybody trying to come up now. So what do you think is really stopping the come up? Is it the negativity? Is it the negativity that's being promoted? Because we don't promote positivity. That's why positivity isn't lucrative. That's why. You can't make a lot of money off being positive, really. Especially not on here. All you gotta do is check the numbers. Negativity reigns supreme amongst black people, man. It's sad, but it's the truth. It reigns supreme over us. For some reason, we always find a way to produce something negative around us or just dealing with us, period. And it's sad. Negativity is played out. It's 2017. Y'all still on that bullshit? Y'all must not be trying to come up. Y'all must not be trying to be happy in life. A lot of people is just miserable, man. You know? Like the dislikes that I'm getting. These are just miserable people who just want to discredit me so much. They're just gonna hit the dislike button, but they're not gonna come in the chat. If they do come in the chat, they're gonna come in the chat as a troll. Just pure negativity, man. Pure negativity. That's what happens though when that's what happens when you run from yourself so much. When you so busy trying to put on a facade that the real you always surface. See, a lot of people forget that, you know? Like they like they say in the streets, there's only so long fake thugs can pretend. And people gotta understand that. There's only so long that the negativity is gonna be around. It's only so long before people say enough is enough with this shit. It's only been for so long. A lot of inner cities, like even my neighborhood, a lot of people who used to do negative stuff, they got rid of that shit. They stopped doing it. People trying to become better, man. It's a lot of programs in the hood, and we just trying to do better as a whole, as a group of people. And that's what we need to focus on. You know, that's what we need to focus on. We don't need to be focused on minute bullshit. And just leave those people alone who's on that type time. Leave them alone. Leave them alone. Because all they're gonna produce is chaos, man. Negativity is played out. Competing against one another is played out. Trying to destroy another person, reputation, that's played out. Gang violence, it's played out. Killing each other over drug sales, it's played out. All of that stuff is played out. Robbing your own people, stealing from your own people. That shit is played out. Nobody really respecting that no more in the world. Nobody. Because even all the people who used to do that, they trying to do better now. They not, they not trying to keep that stuff going. Even in my old neighborhood back in Brooklyn, a lot of dudes who created mayhem in the hood, they came back and they fixing the hood. Shout out to the GMAC. Shout out to SOS. Gangsters making astronomical changes in our communities. Negativity is played out. And these people who's running these initiatives and organizations in the community is people who used to tear down that same community. They used to tear that community down. So we got to understand we in a new era. Shout out to New Era Detroit, New Era Chicago. We in a new era. We got to do shit different if we really want to save our children. We got to let our children know being negative is whack, it's corny. We got to let our children know that. Trying to take on a gangster lifestyle, that shit is played out. Trying to be a street dude or claiming to be a street dude for nothing, that shit is played out. Even glorifying that shit is played out. That shit played out, man. If we saying that we trying to do better as a black family, then why the fuck do we keep saluting negativity? Why do we still think that negativity is the way? Why? Because y'all don't understand the power in unity. That's why. And I don't understand why us as Black people cannot understand the power in unity when our open oppressors are united. They're united in keeping their foots on our necks. So why can't we unite to release the foot? Because you can get paid causing chaos in your community. You know, you can get paid for that. And see, it makes it hard for the people in the community who come back and want to rebuild it and help it. It makes it harder on them. It makes it harder on them. Let's just think, if YouTube was an actual community outside of the internet, what would all this negativity actually get us? We wouldn't be able to get shit. You think people gonna be able to get grants and things like that to start programs and initiatives in our community if they see we can't get our shit together? See, we got to understand that we cannot keep looking to 1, 2, 3 people to bring things to the community that's gonna uplift us. That's all of our jobs. That's all our jobs. To empower our families and the people around us to do better. Because it's going to take one family at a time. That's what it's going to take. It's going to take families. That's what runs society. That's what everybody claimed, the Illuminati and all of that. Those are families. So as you can see, unity is key. Hate separates. Hate keeps the separation going. And we have to understand that. All of this negativity and hating and all of that, it got to stop, fam. Because it's setting us back. And like I said in my conscious community versus conscious industry video, we're being watched by certain corporations because Black consciousness is a new industry. It's a new industry. So what we need to be doing is trying to monopolize our industry before the culture vultures get it. So that's why they make sure we stay disunified. Because as long as we separate it, they could come in and take our shit. You see? And we already got culture vultures in the community. We already have that. Why do you think that's so? They're not around just because that's the way it is. No. Culture vultures creep their way in. And they creep their way in when we arguing. When we on some bullshit. That's when the culture vultures come in and take everything from us. Now we work for them. When we created the industry. So we're going to keep letting our oppressors do the same shit they done to us for centuries. That makes no sense. This is why they want us to stay separate. This is why. Because then they could continue to corner the market. And then once they take over everything, then they'll start giving, passing little checks down to they little black crackers. They're gonna start passing their checks down. And see, this is why I did the stream last night, because I wanted y'all to understand, family, that this is about money. This is a money grab for these people who's promoting this YouTube war. You see, I know behind the scenes, there's a lot of corporations that's watching black consciousness. This is an open market that we haven't monopolized for ourselves. And we haven't monopolized it because we haven't unified in thought. We don't have to do everything together, but we have to be unified in thought, a unified ideology. And from that, it has to make us become active. But as long as the negativity keep being promoted and keep getting the highest views and all that type of stuff, what happens is we lose. We lose. As always, we're going to lose continuously. We're not going to never get the shit right. As long as we keep thinking that I got to be better than this person, I got to have more than that person. Because that's why this shit is going on. It's people jockeying for position. This is chess, family. This is chess off the chessboard. Chess off the chessboard. You know? Negativity is played out, man. It really is. It really is, man. That's why a lot of us have already lost our children. Once these kids get a certain age, we lose them now. Because they're drawn to the negativity. Negativity is cool, it's popular. Drama is cool, it's popular. That's why they always stand in their phones. They want to see what's going on Facebook. Who got knocked out today? Who got cursed out today? Negativity is what's reigning over us. It's what's plaguing our communities. On and off the internet. But see, we have to understand how powerful online is now. The internet is the streets. Instagram is the streets now. Facebook is the streets. Facebook is the news. Instagram is the news. Negativity. Negativity has been popularized. That's what it has become. It's become popular. It's become the social norm. And all you got to do is watch the youth, family. I watch them. I watch how they go out to theme parks now, beating people up. 30, 40 dudes stomping on one dude. Probably killed the young dude. See, when we was young, we got into stuff like that, but we'll get into a brawl and then we'll go our separate ways. You know, if somebody got knocked out, they got knocked out. But we wasn't doing what these kids is doing now. And then these kids is doing it for nothing. Like people had to give us a reason. You know, it it wasn't no impulsive reactionary nonsense for 10, 20 of us to line up and be ready to get it on. It had to be something serious. Somebody had to be disrespected or something like that. These young dudes is just on go. They on go. And then you know what they do? They record it, upload it, and then have 1,000 other people watch it. Now it done became a meme. Dude getting his head stomped in done became a meme. See? Negativity. We got to tell our kids this shit played out. It's played out. Because what is it actually getting us? See, this is how they coming up with all these new charges and stuff like that. It's for our children, y'all. For our children who like to upload video. That's a charge now. I had to tell my little cousins that. Stop uploading fights on Facebook. You could get a charge for that. That's a charge now. You can't be doing stuff like that. You can't be thinking that, oh, this is something cool to share. And I tell my little cousins all the time, that shit corny, y'all. It's 10 of y'all dudes, and y'all just walk around looking for trouble. That's corny. That's corny. We never did that. We was trying to get women when we was young. My mom was on business trying to get money. My mans was trying to get women. But we was never on that, just on some savage shit. That's why these young dudes call themselves savages. We wasn't on that. We was on some, we trying to get these girls, we trying to have money and look fly, but don't try us. See, we had more discipline because back then, when we was growing up, there still was a code of conduct. See, we learned that in my neighborhood. We couldn't act just rowdy and crazy because the older dudes are banish us. We can't come around no more. We can't hang out with them no more. So we had to have discipline. We had to be more militant. We couldn't be on some negative, savage shit. And this is why I be telling my 11-year-old son. And he's not rowdy at all. He's very innocent. And me and his mother make sure that he keeps that. He don't need to lose that. Because it's easy for him to get caught in these traps. See, that's why they program our children with the video games first. With all these Call of Duty guns. Then once they lose their innocence, now they ready to go use them guns that they playing in the video games. This is why I tell my son, being negative is corny. Being negative is whack. Starting trouble or all that shit is whack. That shit is whack. All you're gonna do is end up in jail. That's what I tell my son. You're gonna end up in jail, man. Because you're gonna end up hurting somebody, or vice versa, or both. They ready to lock our kids up in schools now. That negativity shit is played out. You know? This is why we have to start redefining certain things. I talked about that in another live stream. Y'all could go check that out. It's called Redefining Cool in 2017. Redefining Cool. Because we have to start redefining these things and letting them know that negativity is corny. Like I said, being a gangbanger, that's corny. Being a drug dealer, that's corny. Robbing your own people, that's corny. Running around just being a savage and reckless, that's corny. That's corny. Positivity is what it is. Doing things to progress in life. Doing things to help people, not to destroy people. Build instead of destroy. Build instead of destroy. Negativity is played out. And we can't run around and say that we conscious, but we advocate negativity. We promote it. See? And that's because you see a lot of negativity going on because people lack self-control. People lack discipline. A lot of people don't have a purpose. And you see it in people's behavior. But that shit got to stop. It has to stop because you're becoming that cancer that we're saying that we don't want. You're becoming that cancer. And this goes for anybody who's promoting bullshit. So I'm going to put the link out in the chat. Shout out to everybody who's watching tonight. You know, very much appreciated. You know, definitely think this is a well-needed conversation. So I would definitely love for people to come on and render their voice and let me know why y'all think negativity is played out. You know, in 2017, with all this shit going on, we got time to be negative towards each other and try to destroy one another. You know? Peace to my brother John Doe. 80 Frost. Peace, peace. Peace to my good brother Boss. Teresa, what's up, sis? Elm City, what's up? Who else in here with me tonight? What's up, Hibbler? What's going on, bro? Peace, True Royal. How you doing? Peace to my brother Black Worlds. We're shaking, bro. Who else up in here? Peace to Maxine. You know, shout out to everybody. Y'all can hit that link whenever y'all ready. And let's talk about it. Let's talk about it, family. You know? We trying to get past the bullshit, y'all. As y'all can see, just online alone, look how Black people are trying to make progress. There's a lot of new Black clothing companies. There's a lot of web series out. You know, like we don't even have to watch their TV anymore because there's a lot of Black people being progressive. And see, you can't get things done when you're negative. When you constantly in a state of negativity, you cannot get shit done. And this is why we're at a place of stagnation. We're at a place of standstill because of all the negativity. all of the backbiting, all of the competition, trying to be better than somebody, thinking you better than somebody. That shit is played out, man. This is not the place for that. Communities are not built with that attitude. You see? Even the white supremacists know that unity is key. That's why they unified all around the goddamn world. And that's why they control the world. Y'all don't understand that yet? Y'all don't see that? That unity is key? Even in conducting evil. You see what's going on? But we can't unify in positivity. But we can unify in negativity, though. We can unify in making somebody look bad. We could unify and create scams to rob people. We could unify to do that. But we can't unify to get people to support things that people are doing. And it's sad because a lot of us have good ideas, but people are afraid to put them out there because people are so negative. We don't even give each other a chance because we so negative. And that shit is played out. I'm getting tired of that shit. That's why I left my old neighborhood. I can't have my family around that. All that negativity, that shit is played out and it's toxic because sooner or later, things are going to get drastic. This is why I just remove myself, man. That shit is whack. And every time I go back to visit, you know, because my family's still there, it's the same thing. It's the same dead energy. Everybody's still, you know, somber. Everybody's still somber. You know, nobody's in a state of upliftment. I don't hear anybody happy about anything. All I see is just like my neighborhood got a black cloud over it. My block got a black cloud. A lot of us don't come out of that. That's why I made sure I left. I made sure I'm not going to raise my sons around that. And I love that block. I grew up there, you know, but I understand what negativity does. I understand because I watched what it done to my family. See, I apply what I know, family. So this is why I understand how powerful negativity could be. Because negativity could be just as powerful, if not more powerful than positivity. Because it's all just opposing sides. It's energy. It's polar opposites. Hot and cold. No more is better than the other. It's just opposing sides or polarities of the same energy. So as we can see, unifying the negativity, look at what the damage that it caused. Look at the damage that it caused when we unify negativity. We never sit back and think, what can we accomplish when we unify in positivity? What can we see? Peace, sis. How you doing?
I'm doing fine. I'm doing great, actually.
That's great. That's great, sis. So what do you think about the topic? You know, negativity is played out.
It's exhausting. It truly is. Um, Sometimes I get the impression that we look for the slightest thing for negativity. I have been saying, some people take it jokingly. I've been saying that Mercury is in retrograde, and it affects people's, cell phones and computers and stuff. And there's always issues with communication. And then I also been saying on my channel about that a lot of people haven't been getting their notifications. People have been getting unsubscribed, or losing the unquote pimp hand or the blue wrench. And last year, this time, it happened on Mr. Superboy's channel. He said there's seasons in YouTube. And the reason why I was saying that, because I know how sensitive we is. The slightest thing will piss us off. And so, like in the comment box, somebody will think you didn't say hi. Maybe they didn't see it. Don't jump to conclusions. So I hope more people are hearing me. If you don't see people in your news feed who you regularly watch, you may have to manually put them back in. Don't fall out with the person because you think they didn't unsubbed you or blocked you or all of that kind of stuff. This is the season. It happened last year. All right. And then they'll feed into the negativity instantly, thinking, yeah, I knew they did something to me, blah, 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 knowing how they get down on social media, knowing that they don't want us on here. Because what the enemy is surprised about, because they listen to what we talk about, they know everything they done did to us, and they find out that we are brilliant. They like, damn, they really know this system. Yes, we do. We living right here with y'all asses. Y'all looking at us, we looking at you. But I really want to focus on us. So don't let the slightest thing piss you off. First, find out. Because all you're going to be doing is making yourself look like a fool, constantly saying, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize, because you're instantly jumping to conclusions. Me and you married, DS one. You know how that goes, even in a marriage. I don't jump to conclusions real quick with my husband. We communicate just to find out what's going on. That's all. That's all. And then we'd be like, oh, wow, babe, I'm glad I didn't trip out on that. That's it. So first do that, opposed to jump into the negativity. And then, just jump into conclusions. It's like people are what I call hell bent to get a point across. And then, damn, the other one that came to me, hell bent to get a point across. And the other one will come to me in a minute, DS1. I just be trying to put that out there. And a lot of people, I'm not saying all, but some people take it as a joke, what I be saying. I done been on social media enough, and I be paying attention, listening to what people be saying, has been on here way longer than me. And I'd be like, oh, okay. All right. So on social media, and just use this in your life in general, I don't jump to conclusions. I have 4 children, and I used to get on my kids behind, something would happen in the house. And all of a sudden, um, I would get on them about something, and then I would find out I was the one that was wrong. I would go back to my children and I would apologize. And one of the elders in my family said, you don't apologize to children. You wrong as 2 left feet. In fact, DS1, when you did you ever complete that book that I mailed you when you went on the giveaway?
Mm-hmm.
Did you remember in that book when Tavis Smiley and his sister got beat? Tavis Smiley and his sister got beat.
Oh yeah, for
A
something they
elder,
didn't do.
yeah, something they didn't do. A elder in the church, I think it was a pastor in the church, accused them of doing something, and these kids got beat so bad they ended up in the hospital for weeks. And Tavis Smiley said he still wear the scars on his body from this beating. His sister never came back home. She's still affected to this day. And then once they found out that they was the 2 that didn't do it, that elder did not go back and apologize to that kid. That was fucked up to me. It was like I experienced it. And he said his stepfather just stumped the kids. Go find out what's going on. But no, you just instantly negativity, hell bent, hell bent. That's like that night when Empress was on there, and folks was on the panel because they got to get their point across. Hell bent. You just gotta say it. Sometimes I just don't say nothing. Sometimes I don't say nothing because it's like it don't matter what I say. People are lying. They feed into the negativity. They feed into it. There was a time in my life I used to like to go see that stuff. I said, "Shit, I gotta grow up, man. That shit is stupid." I'm talking to me. That shit is stupid. So that's all. That's all I have to say. DS1.
Hmm. See, what made me want to leave negativity alone is the fact that I had a family. Once I, I had my family and stuff like that. I'm like, that made me change the way I thought about everything. It changed my whole process on thinking, because I always apologize to my children if I act out of character or if I feel like I overreacted. I always apologize. I don't have no problem with it, you know. But I do notice how when I was young, I would hear certain things from adults. You don't apologize to no kid. You don't explain nothing to a child, and
Yeah. hmm That's what I would
I
get.
don't, I don't operate like that because see what I noticed when being that I was raised like that to some extent.
hmm
What happens is when you get older, you pull back from your parents.
Yeah, you don't have trust and faith in them when they do that.
Like, see, with me, it wasn't that I didn't trust them like that. It's that I was afraid to express myself because I felt I wouldn't be heard,
hmm
and that's because that comes from always trying to express yourself and being shut down.
Yeah, you know what my mom taught me? Bless her heart. She would say this to me. If I cut up at school and did something, she told me, "You tell me the truth. Just tell me the truth." And she kept her word with me. Because you think you're gonna get your butt whooped and all that stuff. So when I had my children, I did the same thing, but I added a little bit more. So I said, let's go down here to the school and see what these hunkies is talking about. But I said, before that, you let me know everything. Don't you cut nothing out. And I'll assess it the way I want to assess it. And I said, I'm gonna go in here and play this little game with these white motherfuckers and stuff and see how this gonna go. And I'm gonna see if this is some racism shit. And 9 times out of 10, that's what it would be. And I would be, yeah, whatever. Yeah, yeah, And then we going back home. My child ain't getting in no trouble because they know how them white folks get down, you know? So I would always want to get that very clear. What did they do? And it would be on some bullshit 9 times out of 10. And I would just play the role with my kids. I mean, with the white folks and stuff like that. And and my oldest son, he really paid attention to it. He was like, dang, it's we're a target. I will let them know we're a target. Yeah, doctor. Yeah, yeah. People are not getting their notifications. A lot of people been not. Mercury's in retrograde. People keep laughing at me. A lot of people been not getting their notifications. I've been seeing it everywhere. So as people are listening to my voice, let's get it out to everyone so we can keep down the negativity, letting people know that they're not getting their notifications. Some people are getting unsub, having to resub, and all of that. This happened last year. It sounds like I'm a broke record saying this, because you jump. And then the thing is, you could take that, jump into conclusions, and think somebody then blocked you or unsubbed you. And if they got a channel, they make a whole video about it and a whole crew, and it wasn't nothing you did. You see how something like that can be? Something that simple. Like when I was talking about those emails yesterday, because I had to really go reflect and think about it after me and boss had talked. And I said, you were right. Um, DS1 was very respectful. And I didn't say anything in there because when and I won't mention it on your channel out of respect, when that other person was fishing me in emails, it was none of my business. It was just none of my business, you know? And and I've been saying that to people on my channel. You send me something, um, something on my email, don't send me that shit. It's none of my business. Because people will fish you in, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll say you the one that's negative, but they following around from channel to channel, feeding off of the negativity. It's a trip.
And see, that's because sis, this is why, you know, I did the show that I did before the last two shows, asking, are we in a conscious community or a conscious industry? Because
Hmm.
you got to watch people behavior, and that'll
Hmm.
tell you what we dealing with. We dealing with competition, right? We dealing with slander, right?
Hmm.
Those are all things dealing with business. So we dealing with an industry. This is not a community. People jockeying for positions. This is an industry. It's not a community. This is why YouTube let us monetize the negativity, because they watching this black conscious industry that's open for the taking. They watching it like, oh yeah, these people don't even know what they got. They sitting on a gold mine. They sitting on a gold mine. They don't even know what they doing. I already know they sitting back doing it because they do it all the time. That's why they been taking our land,
Hmm.
because we so busy infighting. We so busy warring with each other.
You know what, DS1, I'm glad that you said that about the taking our land. There's a video that I'm going to re-show to the royal family when I had to because my first channel was hacked, and it was there is a tribe called the Bafuka Khan tribe. I'm not, I'm jacking up the name, and they were successful at they were able to buy back all their land from white folks, and it's in South Africa. But this tribe, they have their own government, their own military, their own everything, and this is how they did it. The elder of that tribe, and it was in the early, it probably was even in the 1800s. He studied that white man, and they didn't give up their culture or their religion, but he studied that white man and he studied his religion, and they systematically bought back all their property under them, bought all their property back from them. And this is the cold part about it. They was sitting on a bed of platinum. Do you hear me? These people are wealthy, wealthy, wealthy. And any decisions this made from the any decisions that are made, who the person that heads the whole tribe, he cannot make the decision for him. Even the smallest person in the community is part of the decision making. And I thought that was very brilliant the way that man set that up, talking about unity and not doing it hastily. Just, you know, they didn't even have to use no guns and bullets and arrows, and just systematically bought that land. And it just showed you how powerful the Most High is. And they sitting on a bed of platinum. People got so much money, it ain't even funny. They don't even know what else to do with their money. I'm gonna put that. The general of the channel told me. She said, "Put that back up. Put that back up." That really shows you what we can do.
But I think we afraid of that because it takes a lot more to do that. It's a lot easier to be savage and to be negative. It's a lot easier because of our environment. This is why I left my old environment, because when
Hmm.
you come to a new environment, you're forced to adapt to that environment.
Yeah.
You're forced to change and look at things different. And
Yeah,
see,
I want to ask you a question about that. So, um, now, were you talking about like when you was a child? Did you feel a lot of negativity as a child? Is that what you're saying? Because you're touching on something deep.
as a child and growing up, because see,
Hmm.
the the block that I grew up on is family. Like most of the block, everybody know each other or we related to each other some way, somehow. But we always fought each other. We always
Mm-hmm.
did each other dirty and allow other people to come in and do us dirty.
Damn, that's deep.
So the negativity was always at an all-time high.
Mm-hmm.
So I knew as I got older and I graduated college and all of that, I knew, if I want to have a child, I cannot raise them in this environment.
Mm-hmm.
I know this because I watch how the kids play. They play how we play. We come outside and fight each other. I don't want my son to come outside and feel like he got to get punched in the face. And that ain't because I want him to be soft, but it's just because I want him to look at life a different way.
Yeah, and that's stressful for a child too, because they should be able to enjoy their childhood and develop naturally. And it's like you don't even get a moment. Can you imagine now in these times the stress that children are under? You don't,
Right,
think about this. How often do you see children really play outside now?
not much.
I lived outside. When I would come home, my mother said, "Let me put your red ass in the tub." I would be dirty from head to toe. She said, "You got all your childhood, you know." And then another thing I remember grown folks would say is, "Stay out of grown people's mouths. Take your ass on outside." Now the kids are in because we living in a different type of world.
Right.
And if they do play, you got to keep them right there in the house, in front of the house, because people will snatch up your kids. And we ripped and run. When I grew up in a Haight Ashbury in San Francisco. I catch the bus. I go downtown and go play. I would be playing all up and downtown San Francisco, stealing out of Woolworths, they candy, just doing what kids normally do, and get my little red ass back on the bus and come on home. Because I grew up with two male cousins, and we did all kind of dirt that day. Didn't all kind of. We had fun. Me and my cousins still talk about that stuff. We had fun. We had fun, man. I miss that,
And
and it
see,
was safer then.
and see, like now, we can't allow our children to do that because now they go steal some candy, he might get shot. You see?
Hmm.
Before, you know, they might chase you out the store. Oh, hey, 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 and you just keep running.
Hmm.
Now they're gonna kill your kid. They're gonna kill your kid or call the police and they gonna kill him.
Hmm.
Isn't that how Mike Brown got killed? They say he
Man,
stole something from the store and they killed him. So
yes, it is.
so we have to socialize our children different now. We can't have them in certain environments like here where we live at now in North Carolina. Kids come outside a little more, like because it get hot here. So these kids be outside. They run around. It's a lot of grass where I live.
That's
That's
cool.
another reason. That's another reason why it's much safer. I ain't got to worry
Hmm.
about my kids getting glass in their hands and getting stitches. A lot of my friends grew up like that. Fall off the monkey bars, break his arm. Fall off the monkey bars, cut his leg open.
Yeah, concrete jungle.
Right,
Hmm.
exactly.
Hmm.
I, that forces you to be constantly in a negative mind state. It constantly keeps you it keeps you in a certain space. You have to remain in a certain space. It's a fight. You got to remain in that space, that negative space when you in that environment, because it could get like that at any time.
Hmm.
And that shit just got played out to me.
Yeah, you having to
You
fight all the time. Yeah, I
know,
went I
always,
went through a little bit of that. I had because I'm an only child, and I always just wanted friends, just to play and have friends. And I had some girls bullying me in school, and my mother told me if I don't fight back, she was gonna tear my ass up. And I believed the shit. Cause you believe what your parents tell you.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 girls jumped me. I could have fought them back. So come home crying and all that. So they thought they had me. So that next week when I went back to school, I whooped all 3 of their asses.
Mm.
All three of them by myself. And I was crying while I was whooping their ass because I don't like fighting. I don't like fighting. I
Right.
just wanted to play. I just wanted to play. That's all. I'll never forget. I was in the 4th grade. Just wanted to play, but I have to fight. And it was like the worst feeling in the world because it was just a kid that just wanted to play. And I was a kid that, as hard as it was for me in school, I enjoyed school. I couldn't wait to get there. But yeah, I had to turn around and fight because I had to either fight them or get my ass whipped when I got home.
Right. Right. And see me, like, I don't tell my son that.
Mhm.
I talk to him.
Mhm.
I tell him, listen, if you don't fight back,
Mhm.
you don't want to grow up in this world that's wicked. You don't want to grow up and be a punching bag. Do
That's
you
true.
want to do you want to grow up and be walking down the street and people just hitting you, throwing stuff at you? You got to
Mhm.
walk down the street with your head down. You got to always run from people and hide from people. Do you want that type of life for yourself? Are you really that type of person? Don't be afraid to defend yourself.
They had an incident here in Oakland, um, DS1, where this dude started harassing this kid in junior high. They were in junior high school together. So he would be bullying him and bullying him. And so he bullied him all the way through high school. And then he continued to bully him when they were adults. And he had a decent job. And so every payday he would have to break him off some coins. And so the dude that was getting bullied, he a grown man now. Um, One day, homeboy was at his father's house. They was barbecuing, and the father said, "What's that smell? It smells something." He bullied that dude so much he ended up killing him and putting him in a car, in the trunk of the car at his father's house. Can you imagine the mental pressure that dude went through all those years? And then he just finally lost it. That's why you don't fuck with people. You don't know how people are going to you just don't know about people. I happen to think like one of those people. That's why I go to the least aggressive side because I'm either 0 or 10. I'm not in between. I'm trying to learn to get in between because I'm not on that bullshit, you know? And then I'm gonna tell you one more story. My cousin that I grew up with, this dude was harassing him. He was on that negativity stuff. And my cousin blinded dude. He threw acid in his face. See, that's why people shouldn't mess with people. That's why I didn't mess with people. You never know what people can do to you. You never know. You know, any human being can get beat down. We can. You see, I'm an avid boxing fan, and I've seen because I study boxing. I'm an avid boxing fan, and I didn't had boxers hurt my heart where they didn't got too old, and they still think they can do their thing. Everybody can be beat. Everybody can be touched. Everybody can be replaced. But some people just don't think in those terms. My mama would call it, "Oh, you smelling your piss," and I left that message on your channel the other day. Um, you hear people say things about you, and I said, just keep living. Somebody kind of said I was using an excuse one day. I had mentioned, because I'm still grieving, dealing with losing so many relatives, and I said, keep living. You'll feel one day. Just keep living. You will feel. Remember my words, and it will humble you. I've always been a humble person, but it will humble you. It will really, a lot of stuff will become very trivial to you when you start losing those people that nurtured you and it was always there for you, and they just gone like bam, and you just sit there and say, whoa, that's cold. So the negativity is that serious. And what I'm trying to say is the negativity is that serious, opposed to um, you done lost somebody that's dear to you and your family. We don't really know each other like that out here on this social media stuff. That's why I've been talking about our immediate situation. You know, that's important. Our immediate situation. Let's pull it, dial it back to that, because something can happen to any of our family members immediately, and and all that should have changed instantly. So just do your own thinking, keep living, try to be decent to folks, and try to avoid negativity. And that's what I've been trying to do, because I see I'm getting drug in negativity to the point where I can't even ask if somebody how somebody doing, and it get exploded to that. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm a target. I won't mention the YouTuber's name. It's a real big one. He called me the other day, and I was wondering why the brother was always standoffish. And he said the wars I have had to deal with the last 5 years on YouTube, he said he barely talks to anybody. He said he's like in a little cocoon, because he really wants to render his voice out here, and he didn't have so many battles. It just made him just distance himself from his own people. You love your people. That's like I heard Farrakhan say that, how much he loved his people, and the things they have done to him. You know, it's hard dealing with us. We all been hurt. We all been hurt, and we talk about this stuff, but do we really, really mean it? That is the golden question. And some people, they're going to keep doing the negative stuff. So um, all we can do is we're never going to be perfect. Try to stay up out of the shit as much as possible. And like the Queen General says, stay your ass on your throne. Stop coming off of it.
Right. That's true. That's true. Stay your ass on your
Hmm.
throne. That's the truth.
Hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, because that statement, it keeps you focused.
Hmm.
It keeps you with that tunnel vision. But
Yeah.
see, I think a lot of times what happens is with good people like us, what happens is that when we experience a lot of negativity from our people, we want to understand why.
Hmm.
So that's what a lot of times people may think may
Hmm.
be a confrontation when you just want to have a conversation.
Hmm.
You know, from when I was young, I was very angry. So, a lot of people looked at me as a dude that I'm not talking, I'm not doing no talking. But as I got older, a lot of people that was around me, they didn't see my growth. They didn't see that, now I would want to have that conversation with my mans instead of inviting him to a fight, you know, but they didn't see that. So I noticed that people keep that negative energy on people too. A lot of times if you came from something, people try to keep you in that light,
Yeah. Yeah.
and people don't understand that you don't want to go back to that because
Hmm.
it's easy to go back there, and just everyday living out here is hard for people, you know, it's hard. So it's easy for you to step back and act stupid if you want to, if you want to just get crazy if you want to, that's easy. That goes back to what I was saying earlier. Being negative is easy. It's easy to turn up and do something crazy and hurt people families, and it's easy to do that.
Hmm.
That's easy. What's hard to do is to have restraint when you're met with that situation. It's hard to be like, all right, let's have this conversation. And I see that it's hard for a lot of us. And that's why I always say we gotta heal before we build.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's a lot of negativity and unresolved hurt and shit at the core of a lot of us. So that's why it's easy for us to jump off the hook. Because that's what we used to doing,
Yeah, that's true.
you know? And
Mm-hmm.
I try my best to not do that, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. I had a sister on YouTube tell me um, she wanted to have like one of them piss matches. You know, you could tell she was just ready to fix her mouth like a Uzi. You know what I told her? I said, "You win. You win.
Hmm.
I ain't doing that. I'm not doing that. You win." I have went on somebody's channel and cut somebody out. I've only did that one time, and I left that shit alone, and I apologized, even though the person crossed me. That was out of pocket, because that's not me to come up out of my to come up out of myself like that. That's some crazy shit.
Mm-hmm.
So you win. You want to drag my name through the mud? Go ahead. You win. You win. You on top. You win. I ain't even into that. I'm not even known for that. But I know one thing, I'm backing away from folks too. And I'm just gonna deal with my media situation and keep putting out content. You keep putting out content, all of us, anybody that's listening. Stay the course. I say this constantly. Healing the war, healing the chaos. It's gonna always be war and chaos. Heal up in it. Mm-hmm.
Boss, what's up,
Hey,
bro?
Bob.
What's good with it?
What's going on?
I'm just kicking back. You know, had to come through. What's up, True?
Hey, how you doing, boss? I feel great. Mm.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Yeah, I see your you said negativity is played out, huh? I agree.
Mhm.
But as y'all can see, in this world, negativity sells. You know, negativity definitely sells. You know, just look at TV. You know, how many reality shows y'all know? You know what I'm saying? Is actually, positive. I would say probably the what's they called, the man's family or something like that. Other than that, all these other shows, all these females doing, they be banging.
Mhm. I don't even watch those shows. I started when they first came out, boss, and it wasn't fulfilling what I needed. I couldn't watch them no more. I got like into the third season of some of them shows, and then after that, I don't even watch none of them shows because it was like the way they were depicting black women. It was always fighting, throwing drinks on each other, neck rolling, eye popping, hands on hip, and and the oozy tongue and all of that stuff. And I remember telling my girlfriend, I said, I can't watch this. I said, after it's over with, I feel kind of funny. It's just so negative. And that's what I love about YouTube. I love documentaries. And I can go listen to a documentary and learn something and stuff. That's why a lot of people not watching TV no more. Excuse me for that. My headphones came out. I said, that's why a lot of people not watching TV no more. They sick of that shit. They making money off of our insanity. And then to keep the show going season after season, you get more and more fucking ridiculous. just acting grimy. Sure.
I mean, definitely, I agree with what you saying, because everybody be banging on their shows. Why can't it be some shows where everybody getting money and everybody being cool?
Hmm.
I guess when you being cool, don't nobody want to pay attention to you.
You're boring in, I guess.
Yeah, that's what
You
they say.
know,
You born.
Hmm.
When your
why
when your
can't
life ain't in chaos, you're born.
Hmm.
That's how they feel. That's just what people, they identify you, you know, with bullshit now. Like I remember back in the day when I was younger, like people who were revered, they were people that deserved it. Men of honor, women of respect. It's not too much of that no more. We don't honor that no more. We don't even judge people on their character.
Hmm.
We judge people on, oh, you got 25 Louis Vuitton belts. This is how we judge each other now.
Hmm.
Oh, you killed 35 people. This is how we judge each other.
Hmm.
And
Oh,
this
excuse
is the
me.
problem.
Jalen has sent me a link on my channel, and I went and looked at this video. I don't even know who this dude is. Some rapper. He likes to walk around with $1 million in cash. He'll carry it like a baby. He'll talk to it. He'll throw it up in the air. And I didn't even know they had videos like that where they just show people with these rappers and stuff with just tons of money. I was like, who walks around like that? I was so silly to see that. He in the hood with it, showing it off. He got a wab of hundreds like it's a cell phone. Hey, talking to the money. And I'm like, people sit up and watch that shit?
Hmm.
I told everybody Jalen go to places that nobody know nothing about. That was a trip to me when I seen that. That was a trip.
Yep.
we in the era where you got to be somebody.
Yep. And you gotta show them. You gotta show them who you are. But they only want to see certain things. See. I don't have a problem with people feeling like that. Because I feel like it was like that back in the day. But I just feel like people only judge people only judge you on exterior things. Like they don't judge a person by their character. They judge you
Yeah,
by how many cars you got.
yeah. It's like, it's like when you had revealed that you was a homeschool teacher. Things that people don't even, know about people on YouTube. They just assume certain things. Um, I play two instruments. I play the violin. I play the clarinet. I write music. I'm it's a lot of people they found statistically that are autistic. They real good in music. I don't know why, but it just they is. And how they discovered it when I was 9 years old. And they sent my dad bought me a violin. They sent me to go play the violin, and the teacher said that he couldn't keep up with me, so the school paid for me to have private lessons. I never revealed that. I wasn't even tripping off of that. But yeah, I play instruments. And to be honest with y'all, um, If I could go somewhere and go sing and play instruments, y'all would never see me on social media. I love music that much. Music, I love music. You know, there's other things out here. We don't just do social media. We got other things we do. That take a lot of discipline to sit there and teach your kids. Because I know some people that homeschool and they half-ass did it. You got to really step your game up when you do that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But people, people like to run with, because it's like I said, it's popular to be negative, you know.
Hmm.
But see, it's the people that are somebody but value the other things in life that have to lay down that foundation to the youth. They got to put that message out there. Like, listen, I got all this stuff, yeah, but that don't make me better than nobody. You know, I could lose all this shit today.
Hmm.
Those are the people that gotta be out there telling the youth that, so they could stop idolizing the wrong people, stop trying to live like the wrong people, and see some value in themselves, and stop valuing, valuing themselves based off of what they see somebody else got. So people be striving to be other people in life, so they make the wrong decisions. You know, so it has to be, that step has to be taken, because the negativity in our community is at an all-time high. And we may think this YouTube internet shit is something light. It's not, man. Our children is caught up in this world. This is all they do. They be on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. It's all they do. In school, outside of school, on vacation from school, while they playing their video games, all of that.
Yeah, they even go on a date like that now. They go on a
Right,
date. You meet somebody, you go on a damn date, and y'all both got your heads buried into the cell phone.
right. And what
Damn,
you think they on? What you think they on?
social
They
media,
on Snapchat.
something,
So
yeah.
so we gotta stop thinking that this shit is a game.
Hmm.
And we have to use what it's here for. We gotta use it for positivity. And try our best to capitalize off that. Because you get a lot of numbers doing negative shows. All you
Hmm.
gotta do is go check out the numbers on people's channels. Their highest viewed videos is negative shit. And it's monetized. So we gotta understand. We have to put the positive perspective against the negative perspective and let people choose.
Hmm.
We can't keep having it one sided. That's all I'm saying. We can't keep
Hmm.
having it one sided,
Hmm.
because then the youth gonna think that's cool. They're gonna think, all right, this is what I should be doing. It's cool, it's cool. It's cool for me to be a savage. It's cool for me to walk around with guns and all that type of stuff. It's cool. That's cool. Nah,
Hmm.
that's not cool, little
Huh?
homie. You know what type of, you know what,
Shit,
you know what
smoking and
type of,
chilling on the
you know
tablet.
what type of laws they got for
Alright.
that. You know. So I always stress that to my young cousins and the young dudes that I'm cool with. That
Hmm.
shit is not cool no more, man. Go to school, get you some money, get you a lady, go start you a family, go build you a life. That's what's important. That's what men supposed to be doing.
Hmm.
Building and securing for their family, not running around on some stupid shit. Talking about I'm a gangster. Talking about that. Throwing up gang signs and pictures in 2017 where they got gang injunctions. and you could get hella lots of time in prison. You see, this is why the negativity is played out. And
Mm-hmm.
and see, it's a lot of OGs that was like a lot of OGs that was gangsters. They doing the right things now. They telling these young dudes, nah, that's corny. Nah, you not doing that. You gonna come here, you gonna work here, you know.
Mm-hmm.
They have that in New York. They got that going on in Brooklyn, in my neighborhood. OGs came home from jail. They giving the little homies jobs. So you ain't gotta be out here robbing old women. You ain't gotta rob another brother. You know, teaching them something different because that negativity shit is played out and it's
Mm-hmm.
counterproductive and it's only gonna continue to kill our communities. And then what our children gonna grow up in? Come on. We get older every day. Not every year. We get older every day. Look at our environment. Our environment is poisonous. The food we eat, the air we breathe, the water we drink. So we get older every day. So what type of life or what type of environment is going to be left for our children? And this is what we got to focus on. And this is why negativity is played out. There's no more places for that. It's no more room for that.
Yeah, like you said, you start looking corny.
Yeah, yeah. That shit is played out, man. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
like somebody that keep telling you the same thing over and over. All right, I heard it. You know, that's how you get. Come on,
Mm-hmm.
man. Let's move on now.
Mm-hmm.
Boss, you want to touch on that, bro?
I think he stepped away.
Yeah.
You know what other thing I was thinking of too, DS1. Um, you know, when people have children in their house and they be fighting, that ain't cool. That ain't cool doing that around your kids. You see the people that you depend on in the house, and then you see two adults fighting and screaming and hollering. I can remember that shit when I was a kid. The house always felt sideways to me because I always had like a knot in my stomach. And I used to wonder why adults were always angry, 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 angry. I was scared of adults. They were just angry, and then they'd be arguing and fighting. And I vowed to myself that if I ever got married and had children, you wouldn't have that in my house. Every time anybody that ever talked to me on the phone, my house, you can hear a pin drop. We don't have drama in our house. A pin drop. I made a promise to myself I wasn't gonna have that around my babies because it's not fair to bring children into this world and then you got your baggage and your shit and it's not even conducive for them to learn. I see adults like that. They got these kids. It's a video that's been floating around for a number of years. This little boy, he got on a damn pull up and then he got on a pair of pants. The pull up is sagging, like he's sagging in some jeans. And he holding a bottle like he got a 40, talking like he a grown man. This little kid ain't even 5 years old yet. I said, that's from them parents. Because you know what? People was laughing at me when I said this. I made a statement. I said, the crack babies are having babies. Two sets of chemically imbalanced people. You're born through somebody chemically imbalanced. Ain't nobody tripped off of that. Think about that. Somebody grow up a crack baby, and then they all fucked up using they shit. They off the hook. The future, oh Lord, the future looks bleak sometimes. Mm.
Definitely. You know what I'm saying? And see, what the young guys is the biggest thing that they mess up on You know, every day they walk out the house, at least know they can guarantee every single day, you know what I'm saying, on the youngster and he got a gun on him. Guaranteed. You know what I'm saying? It was way different back then when I was coming up, especially in my teens. We had guns, but we wasn't walking around with them and shit because we knew how to fight.
Oh, don't let nobody lose no fight. They gonna go run and get their
You
fucking
know what I'm
gun.
saying?
Oh my, that's what they gonna do. If they lose that fight, they gonna go get their gun.
I'm 36. You know what I'm saying? Me coming up, 15, 16, man, we had them, but we knew how to fight.
These kids don't know how
You
to
know what
fight.
I'm saying? A lot of these youngins, they don't know how to fight.
Mm-mm, mm-mm. You know what, boss? My husband, my husband was the bully that beat up the bullies in school because he can't stand bullies. And it was this one dude where they would always fight. Either my husband would beat him up or he would beat him up, back and forth, back and forth. So one day they just said, "Oh, I ain't fighting no more, man. We partners." He said the dude would jack him up. He healed, he go jack him up. After a while, it got old. They got tired of beating on each other. They just got tired of it. It really did. But I wanted to add to that. My husband went to high school with Ricky Henderson, and Ricky Henderson couldn't fight. My husband started Ricky Henderson's career. He would chase his ass every day. That's why he could steal all them bases. He always say Ricky owe him money. He would chase him every day. You see, that's the kind of stuff you want to laugh at. You can't sit up there and have stories when you get older. Oh yeah, I shot somebody. Let's laugh. You can't laugh at that. That's the back to that corny shit. Oh yeah, I remember when I shot you. What? That sounds stupid. Yeah, we tussled in the backyard. And that was it. No, you don't have them type of stories no more.
Yeah, definitely. It was a different time. You know what I'm saying? When I came up, guys that was older than me, see, they really wasn't kikiing and high with you, you know, doing something. You know what I'm saying? Playing football. You know what I'm saying? Them teaching us how to fight. And a lot of us, where I'm from, on every single side of town, there's a boxing, you know what I'm saying, hook up. Always.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of us did box.
Mm-hmm.
Had to, you know what I'm saying? You know, that's all a part of, doing shit. Not just sitting around watching videos and then, you know, you want to do what you see on the videos.
Mm-hmm.
That was like rites of passage for you in the neighborhood. You had to have you
Right.
had to have a certain amount of fights. Like you had to show and prove that you had heart,
Right.
Oh.
male or female. You had to
Mm-hmm.
show that. That's why I said, you know, it starts when you young. Like you may be outside playing on the monkey bars and the kid push you off. What you gonna do? Lay there on the floor and just cry, or you gonna get up and hit him?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And for every kid start out just lay there and crying until they get tired of it and get up and start fighting back. And then it
Mm-hmm.
becomes a natural response. But these kids, and this is what I tell my little homeboys, y'all grew up spoiled. So stop acting like you gotta come out here and prove you a warrior. You ain't no warrior. You better be a student, boy. Be an athlete, boy. Be an engineer, boy. We had to be warriors. Y'all don't have to. Your mother's a correction officer. She makes $60,000 a year. Why are you out here hustling? She could buy you all the Jordans you want, dude. What you out here for? Oh, you trying to get yourself in some bullshit.
Mm-hmm.
Because you attracted to the negativity because you like listening to Chief Keef.
That's back to being hell bent,
You,
getting into something. There you go.
you know? And that shows the power of negativity,
Mm-hmm.
you know? And that's why they say in the Bible, you know, an idle mind is a dangerous place. Because when
Yeah.
you ain't got shit to really think about, that's important. Like what Boss was saying, you got to be playing football. You got to be doing something
Mm-hmm.
because it keeps your mind in a certain place. You ain't worrying about getting to no bullshit. You going to practice. And then after practice,
Yeah.
you probably go chill with your girl. Then you go home and go to sleep.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you know, back when we was growing up, shit happened from when you went to places. So you probably got into a fight on your way from practice.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's different. These kids getting gunned down at practice. They bringing a gun to practice.
Yeah,
And it's normal.
oldest son told me that too. That's ironic you said that. My oldest son, when he was in high school, he said that a dude brought a gun to school, and they was in the gym, and it fell out of his backpack and scared the living crap out of him. You know?
Yeah, man.
Oh,
And it's
shit.
it's normal. It's normal now. And then
Mm-hmm.
and see, you know, that's why I talk to my son a lot too. Because I know he liked them war games.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why these kids be quick to shoot up a school. Because, like you said, they be so hell bent on proving that they could be with that negative shit too.
Yeah.
And that's why we
And then
gotta
what
let them know that that's whack.
and then what'll happen is that'll carry over into your adult life.
Right.
And yeah, and at what point do you cut the shit off? That's like when I told the girl, and I ain't gonna mention her name. She was ready for a screaming match. She was ready. I said, "You win. I'm not doing that. You win. Go ahead. That's on you. You win. I'm not gonna just keep putting myself out there like that. You know."
It's crazy because, even with entertainment, if you ain't getting into any type of trouble or anything, you ain't popping. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm. Yeah, I
You
noticed that,
know,
boss. I noticed that now in the industry, like you gotta show everybody you done went to jail a couple of times and all that kind of stuff like that. And it makes me think back to like when Motown started, and when Motown started, they made sure everybody had etiquette. They had a woman that taught etiquette. Do you know that woman's still alive, as old as she is? She taught them how to talk, how to stand, how to sit, and everything, how to do an interview. And I happened to see, I can't remember the name of the woman, but she taught etiquette for Motown. So these kids, they came out of the hood, but they had a lot of talent and they knew how to give interviews. Y'all go back and look at them old videos of them people in Motown, and they would interview the Supremes and Marvin Gaye and all of them. They went through etiquette school about being raunchy and everything. And I said, this country, the more dysfunctional you is, the more they will feed into it and give you money for it. You know, that's why Homeboy's channel over there, when he got all them zillions of channels, because he on that negative tip. And as over time, what we gonna hear, his channel's gonna get more and more ridiculous because he's looking for more content. And see what'll happen is you might be doing it on a play tip, and then it becomes real. It manifests real. I learned that from Boss when he was talking about these two rappers, and the one was suggesting let's have a beef, and then it manifests into something real. Don't touch that stuff. Don't mess with negativity because it will, it be y'all little inside joke, and it gets real. Mm-mm. Let's play like we don't like each other,
Yeah,
and then you really don't like each other.
right, right. You know that's like Jim Jones and Cam. You know, like I was telling you. You know, Cam was saying how Jim Jones had came to him and was like, "Yeah, we should start a fake beef." You know what I'm saying? And you know, Cam said he looked at him, but then you know he just thought he was bugging. Like if it would have been me the first time he would have said that to me, I'd have been on it. You know what I'm saying? Because what me and you need to come up with a fake beef for what? You know, to take a chance on, you know, dividing the whole get up.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a classic example, bro, of negativity selling. That's why they always say controversy sells. But then Jadakiss came and said controversy sells, but not like death. So,
Wrong.
you know, the
Wow.
controversy will sell, but when a rapper gets murdered, his his sales go through the roof. People buy all their stuff once they die
Mm-hmm.
because death sells.
Mm-hmm. Remember when Michael Jackson passed? It shut down. It shut down the damn computers. Damn near. People couldn't even get on their computers.
Mm-hmm.
That was crazy.
Yep, it sells. The nigga that energy,
Mm-hmm.
that dark energy, it
Mm-hmm.
sells. And they see, you know, the people who control things, they play with that energy.
Mm-hmm.
They play with that energy and they manipulate it. This is why they use social media platforms to promote it, to keep us trapped in that thought, in that thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So you keep the fighting going, you keep it going, you keep it going.
Mm-hmm.
Because they constantly feeding it to you, you know, so it's subliminally getting programmed in your mind. And then you don't even notice that you constantly playing that shit out. You know, people don't even know that they being controlled. A lot of people let their thoughts control them. They don't control their thoughts because they don't understand how to deal with that type of stuff. But see, these you know these wild animals that I like to call them, they understand how to play with that energy and they know how to use it on us to make it benefit them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's why they deal with the monetizing of the pages and stuff like that because they like, listen, we'll if you get this certain amount of views, we'll take this amount and we'll just give you this amount, you know, as an appreciation for continuing to push the negativity amongst your people.
Mm-hmm.
And that's really what it is. But
That's
I
big.
don't think a lot of us notice that it's played out like that, really.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So what are we aware of once again? Consciousness. We like to say we conscious. Conscious of what?
Mm-hmm.
Because if we're not conscious of that, we really got a problem.
Yeah.
You know, if we're not conscious that these people want to continue to let us promote us self-destructing and they get paid a lot of money from it, you know, like the white guy said in the movie Get Out, you know, he said black is fashionable,
Wow.
it's trendy, it's an industry.
Yeah. So we're a form of their entertainment. We're a form of
Mhm.
their entertainment. They love coming to our channels and stuff
Right.
because our channels be popping. because we always got dissension.
Mm-hmm.
Or
They love.
music.
Yep. Music too.
Hmm.
And see, they really use the music because they tie the music in with the social media. They tie it in with the social media. That's why all these youngins, they run around and they recording everything. Everything they do, they record it, and they don't even know they criminalizing themselves when they record everything because they could use that against you.
Hmm.
And they don't know that police can access all these files,
Hmm.
you know, and because of all of this terrorist stuff, it's not against the law anymore. They can invade your shit.
Well, see, this is how the
It's no,
gang
it's
go.
no more of that.
This how the gang go, and I pay real close attention to this. After 9/11, they were able to get that Patriot Act through much quicker because everybody was in such a fragile. And it was like, oh, I don't got nothing to hide. I don't got nothing to hide. And that was real easy and quick to intercept even quickly. Because, then they thought, especially these white folks, they were scared to death. Because they thought, they thought it was it. I want to ask you that, DS, when were you still in New York in 9/11?
Oh yeah, I
Okay.
saw the buildings get hit. I was in high school.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you this one golden question. I always ask people this that lived in New York that was there. Tell me, how were white people acting after 9/11? Just white people.
Boy, boy, oh boy, they they. It's like they were reformed. They were acting so nice, so polite. They were offering us everything. You know, they oh, we're together. We need to stick together in this travesty. It's not about color. They was really pushing
Because
that.
this one dude told me that the churches was full for a while,
Oh
that people
yeah.
was going to church like mad. I said,
Oh,
"Ain't that something?" I said,
what?
wow.
They was being nice. That's what I'm saying. They was being so charitable. Oh, are you hungry? You can have my sandwich. They were being so helpful to one another. They was on that "We Are the World" type of shit.
Hmm. Yeah, because
And I think,
I was tripping off of that because I was thinking that because they was all the way up here in California, they was acting like that, and I told my husband, I said, when they gonna get back to business as usual? Because they ass was scared. Because I was at
mhm,
work. I was at work, and I went that morning when I went to work. The energy in my body. Oh, y'all know I'm empathic. I said, what is going on? What is going on? And I get to work, and we wasn't there 2 hours, and I was working near an airport out in San Mateo. I'll never forget that. And it was just the energy, and I didn't know what was going on. So I get home, and I'm looking at this shit on TV, and I was like, wow, this is heavy. And I always lived around white folks. The white people were so nice. I said, I can imagine they even nicer in New York.
they damn sure was, sis. They
Mhm.
really was. They let us out of school early, all that. Like I said, I was in high school when it happened. We was looking out the window. We didn't believe it was real. We thought they was filming a movie. We looked
What?
at it for real. We was looking. We like, oh, look at that plane, y'all. Then it hit the building and we saw the fire. We like, oh, they filming a movie. Everybody was saying that in the class
Hmm.
until the principal came on the loudspeaker and said the Twin Towers just got hit. And then that's when we was like, oh, and then we saw the second plane hit the second building.
Wow. That's deep.
That's when we knew it was serious. And then they rung the fire alarms, and they was sending people home. They let people go home.
Hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
know, that's all we saw on TV for about a good week. You know, they didn't have no everything on TV was that ground zero. Everything was breaking news at ground zero.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that I remember when that happened too. You know what I'm saying? We was in class and everybody was talking and stuff. The teacher flipped out like, everybody be quiet. No, I mean that was crazy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And you know what was so deep about that? My dad my dad was an astrologer as well, and he would do people's charts and stuff. And he didn't tell me, but he told his partner. He said, "Man, something is about to pop off." He said something really major, and he said they would call my father Newman. That was his last name. His Newman. He said, "What you mean, Newman?" He said, "Man, I'm looking at this astrological stuff." And he said something really major about to happen. He said, "Well, what it is, Newman?" He said, "Man, I don't know. Shit." And when it shocked my father, you know, because he said how all the planets was lined up and stuff. You know, the people that be into that. I don't know all that. Even though I talk that, I don't know all of that. And it was shocking when he told me that. I seen it coming, but something big coming, but he didn't know it was gonna be on that level and stuff. It touched the bay up here. Um, a chick that my husband went to high school with was on one of those airplanes. I had to go back up there and ask her name. It was a sister on the airplane. And when it kept showing her, he said, "I went to high school with her." He was like, "Fuck." He said, "I didn't know her like that, but you know how you see people in passing and stuff in high school, you know their faces and shit, and you know their name, but you don't kick it with them." And that was a trip. That was a trip.
Hmm. And look,
Mhm.
look how they use that whole tragedy to create a whole negative atmosphere all over the
Mhm.
United States, but mainly in the big cities with with with
Mhm.
with black men and beards and relating them to Muslims and terrorists.
I was been telling everybody that. I said that's when they started that shit. They keep wanting to associate it with black men. That's like the dude that live about an hour from me, sit up there and kill on white people. What was that? Last week or so?
Mm.
Mhm.
And that's they what they did was they used that, to further criminalize us and to keep us locked down to a certain extent.
Mhm.
Because now, if when I go back to New York, it's police everywhere. Like it's it's so much police to the point where now I remember in New York, summertime, around this time now, the streets are still packed. Now you go to New York, it's summertime, 1 o'clock in the morning or something like that. Streets is empty. Police clearing everything out.
Damn.
Everything. Everything. And they doing it through these profiles, man, that they criminalizing us through. And they creating these events so they could continue to criminalize us. And people, we don't understand that. We really, really don't. That's why we gotta get our conduct in order.
Yeah.
We really, really do.
And it's crazy that you know, they would put that negative, together, just to have an excuse to try to treat the American people like shit.
Yeah. Takes a negative situation that they put that this country they did that shit. Because when me and my husband looked at them buildings, and my husband he looked at them buildings because he an iron worker. He erect cranes. He said, "Baby," he said, "that's an implosion." I said, "I know what an implosion is. Shoo. I done worked on enough construction jobs. I know an implosion when I see one. It was perfect. I don't mean to be crass or anything, but in a construction person's world, That was perfect implosion, prolific. And how massive that building is, well, is. That's the type of work my husband did. He did some dangerous shit. He said he would work up so high in the air. One time, a helicopter flew near him. He had to hit his belly, on his belly. So construction, when in the construction world, we was like, wow, look how that building collapsed, so beautiful. Even knowing them people was in there. Mm, that's sad. Mm-mm-mm. Yep, an inside job. And then George Bush asked, he's sitting up there fake reading a book, and the damn book is upside down, reading it to the kids. You knew what was going on. That's another definition of a nigga.
Oh, he had the book upside down?
Yes, he did. It was all staged. He's sitting in a classroom with some kids calling himself reading a book, and you can see the footage. You can go find it on YouTube. The book is upside down, boss. And then he was nervous. Hmm.
Yep. So, fam, y'all got anything y'all want to say? I'm getting ready to close out.
That's it. Thank you as usual, DS1. We're gonna get through this.
Definitely. I'm getting ready to close out, bro. You want to touch on something?
I mean, yeah, like y'all was saying, you know, just got to find a better way to do things. We see making money, we got to do other shit. Maybe we can change the game and start making money doing good things, productive things.
Definitely. I agree with that. I definitely think, you know, we have to start using our money for the correct things, you know. Stop using them for the things that's going to keep us, you know, stagnated and suffering. Use it for things that's going to progress us, you know, and that's having a positive mindset. That's having a optimistic mindset, you know, instead of being negative and being counterproductive. So this is why I had this show tonight, family. I want to thank y'all for tuning in. You know, shout out to True Royal. Shout out to my brother Boss. You know, I want to thank y'all for coming through and rendering y'all voice, you know, on this topic. I thank y'all for staying up with me. I know it's late. I know everybody got to go to work tomorrow. So, you know, thanks for coming through. As always, I'm your host, DS1 Ross. This is Sheep Stay Sleep Live. Y'all have a good night, family. Y'all have a productive day at work tomorrow. Peace.